Hello, my Teaserking family. How is everybody today? Yours truly's fine. Um, for the girls. All right. So as we do, this is a sports. We're going to do what a couple of the guys said. We're going to do sports, and then we're going to do sports, and then we're going to do economics on the second video. So let's talk sports, but as always, I must talk gold. That's my religion. So gold, 2504. Started at about 2508 after Friday. Yesterday it popped up a little, popped down, didn't really move much. You had a couple of derivatives hit down to 2488. And surprisingly, they're from Europe. This one at 4 o'clock in the morning goes from 2404 to 2488. Then a little kick, and then another one at 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock. And I thought, oh boy, when the 10 o'clock hits. But look, the U.S. did not do a derivative at 10 o'clock. It went up. I think they might be done, but I'm not sure. However, I don't know what London's doing the derivatives. Maybe London's doing them instead of the U.S. because the U.S. has no more money. I don't know. Silver up to 29.33. I'm seeing a few guys say, oh, the silver manipulation's over. Yeah, sure it is. It's over when it's over, and it ain't over yet. All right. So just wanted to touch that. Let's go to baseball. Fine day yesterday. Very happy day. So my advice is if you got economics, gold, there's an Egon video I got. This will probably go 45 minutes to an hour, and then we'll go. Then I'll come in with a new video, and that'll be strictly economics. Now, I don't know if this will work because too many people jump on and want to talk gold and economics and bricks. So that's why I tend to just do one video so we can cover many different topics. But right now, let's try this. So yesterday, we have a great day. Baltimore, winner. Philly over 9, winner. KC under 9, winner. Cleveland under 8.5, a winner. Houston under 8.5, a winner. St. Louis under an 8.5, a winner. We lose the Cubs game, which just shake your hand. This is the ncaa, whatever the hell his name is, with his 2 ERA against a 5 ERA, and the Cubs get shut out. I mean, Jesus Christ. Atlanta over 9.5. They don't score. That was another loser. Oakland under 7.5. That one. And Detroit under 8. They stay under. So I go 2, 4, 6, 8, and 2 yesterday. I was really happy with that day. And again, I play it the same way every day. I'm looking at the starters if they both suck. But the variable is like, like the Atlanta game over, and then the pitcher throws a shutout with this 5 ERA. That's where I don't understand. That's how weak the league is if you're that good to shut out a team, why do you have a 5 ERA? And if you have a 2 ERA, which means you're good and they don't hit you, how do you give up 6 runs? That amazes me. I'll play that all the time. These guys with 2 ERAs, I go under or I take them. and they give up 5 runs in the first 2 innings. And you're like, how the hell do you have a 2 ERA then? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, either they can't hit you or they can't hit you. All right, so no early game today. Yeah, pretty full slate. Not everybody. So we start off, and why would you start at 6:40? People are working. Well, I guess maybe everybody's working from home. 6:40 game, Arizona at Miami. 2 very inconsistent teams, although Arizona's been playing better. Miami's been winning even though they suck, so who knows? Everybody goes through their streaks. Brandon Pfaadt for Arizona. I love this. Pfaadt. How the hell do you pronounce it? So I call it Fat. 7-6 at the 3.98, and here we go again. Adam Euler 0-0 with an 0-0. It's amazing. We're in August, and here's a pitcher who hasn't pitched before. What the fuck is this? What are you going to do? Brandon Pfaadt with the 3.98, but you don't know what you're getting from Adam Euler. What are we going to get with him? And the problem is, this is why they look good. These new guys come up and you don't know how to hit them. You don't know what they throw. And so you're not prepared. And then they shut you out. And then everybody, he throws a screwball and a good fastball. Oh, okay. Now we know next time we play him, we know how to hit him. Because you don't know what to bat against this guy, right? Who does Arizona bat? And it's way too analytics. Baseball is gone. These guys are so fucked up, these managers. Well, I'm going to play this pitcher against these guys, and he can't go the third time through the lineup, and he can't go more than 100 pitches. And now they're saying they want to make a rule that the starters have to go 6 innings. How the fuck do you make that rule? That's like price fixing. That's like saying you got to sell Coke at $2. Yeah, but it cost me $3. Yeah, but you can't sell it too much. That's what this Kalama does. She wants Kamala, whatever her name is. She wants to do price controls. Yeah, that works real well in communist countries. But last I looked, we're not a communist country. Fucking idiot. All right, so I'm going to lay away from that because I don't know what to do with 0-0 at the 0-0-0 in August. I got another one. Cincinnati, Wallin Aguilar, 0-0 with the 0-0-0 against Kevin Gausman, 11-8 with the 4-2-0. See, here's my point. 11-8 with the 4-2-0. He could throw a shutout or they could score 10 runs on him. Too much risk. Finally, a normal game, Baltimore and the Mets. See, I don't want to chase these new pitchers. No. Because you look at data, you want to analyze the data to get the outcome. And I can't analyze when there is no data. Important lesson for you guys to learn. Baltimore at the Mets. Baltimore's been, they had trouble with Boston. One game it's 1-0. Next game it's 12-11. Next game it's 1-0. Will the real Baltimore Orioles please come out? Against the JETSs, the Mets are 145-9. Trevor Rogers, 2-11 with the 4.89. Seriously? What is he doing in the team? David Peterson for the Mets, 7-1. Well, this is an easy one. I'm going to take the Mets. New York Mets, and I'll go 2 units. Why is it easy? Because Trevor Rogers is 2-11. He ain't winning no matter what. So I'm going to take the Mets to win, and Peterson's 7-1 with the 3.04. Peterson knows how to win. Rogers doesn't. That's the problem I have with like the Tigers pulling a guy. They're now like starting somebody because the starter's scared to start a game. So he needs to come in the second inning. So how are you going to fix the starter to get over him starting in the first inning by not letting him play in the first inning? Manager's really screwed up on the Tigers, that's for sure. Probably the worst man. Well, no, the worst manager was that other catcher who really fucked up 2 World Series, but this guy's right there with him. So we're going to go Mets. Pittsburgh at Texas. Texas 169. Luis Ortiz 5-3 at the 3.41 against Dane Dunning. 4-7 with the 4.92. The Dater. Pitt's not a big hitting team. I got to update my stats. They hit on the road. They hit 235, but I got to look at the stats after. And Texas at home is a 238 team, 238 on the road too. So, I'm beginning to think that that batting averages and ERAs don't matter because, uh, the batting average. I'm seeing guys who hit 180 who should get one hit in 20, going 3 for 4, and the managers are too stupid uh, to. What I see, the biggest problem is here's a 300 hitter or 280 hitter, and the manager pitches to him instead of walking him, and then getting the next guy go to the 200 hitter and pitch to him instead of pitching to the 300 hitter, and yet the managers are just incredibly the tiger man. I don't do intentional walks. You don't win a lot of games either, do you? That's just good strategy. I mean, that's smart. Why do I want to face the 300 hitter? It's the art of war. I don't want to face your strongest guy. I want to face your weakest guy. The only thing Bill Belichick did right was the art of war. But that's the thing. You always go for weakness. I want to face the 200 hitter. Why would I want to face the strong hitter? It's just logic. I mean, these people are so stupid. Well, I got to use analytics. It's the only way I can manage. I don't think these teams can hit enough to get to 9. But Dane Dunning with the 4.92, I can't bet it as an under. So I'm going to let that go. California KC 250 and 9. Carson Fulmer 0-3 with the 4.22 against Seth Lugo 13 and 7 with the 3.04. What are you going to do here? All right, we'll take KC here. We'll go 2 units there. Seth Lugo is inconsistent, 13 and 7. He does pitch well. Fulmer, I don't know. I can't say this is an under. I don't know if they're going to. California doesn't hit very well. KC can put a 10 on you, but I think KC will win at home. Boston and Houston. Oh, a good series here. Houston 145 and 8. Tanner Houck 8 and 8 with the 3.01. Yushi Kikuchi 6 and 9, 4.49, and I can't trust these Japanese pitchers because they are very inconsistent. They let me down with the Cubs yesterday, so I'm not going to take him. I'm going to go over. Tanner Houck 8 and 8 with a 3.01, but it's at Houston. I'm going to go over here. Houston over 8, and we hope Altuve has a good game. We'll go 3 units there. Tampa Bay and Oakland. Oakland doesn't hit. They don't score. They don't have pitching. Who are they? I still see Brad Pitt going, well, we should trade all-stars for guys that can't play because they walk a lot. Yeah, good luck with that one. The only time Oakland won the World Series, they had Reggie Jackson and Campy Campaneris, okay? Catfish Hunter. Yeah, you had superstars. That's why you won. Ty Bradley 6 and 7 with the 3.49. Joe Boyle 2 and 5 with the 7.39. Well, we got to go over here. Oakland over because it's only 7.5. Otherwise, I'd take Tampa 3 units, but Tampa should kill Boyle with the 7.39, and then Ty Bradley 6-7 3.49. Oakland should get 2 or 3 runs off of him, like it matters. Tampa Bay, let's see, their bullpen 3.92. They hit better on the road 2.42. Must be that dome they can't see in the dome. Minnesota, San Diego. We've got Zebby Matthews, 1-0 with a 3.60. Where did they get this guy from? Michael King, 10 and 6 is a 3.19. Yeah, I'm going to take San Diego here. 2 units. San Diego's been playing well. They're at home. I can't trust Zebby Matthews. Really? Let's look at Zebby. He's a bullpenner? I never heard of this guy. From North Carolina. Oh, he's pitched 1 whole game. 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, 2 hits. and that gives Zebby a 3.6 ERA. He gives up 2 runs in 5 innings. So what you're going to do in 9? He probably can't go 9. Get too tired. The White Sox against the 49ers. 49ers 250 and 8. Jonathan Cannon 2-6 with the 402. Kyle Harrison 6-5 with the 414. Neither team hits very well, but I can't go under with 4.0 pitchers. I'm going to pass on that, but I think I like Frisco over. I'm going to mark it down, but I'm not going to play it. Over 8, but I won't play it. And Seattle and the Dodgers. Dodgers 145 and 8. Ric Flair, Brian Wu, 5-1 with the 206 against Gavin Stone, 10-5 with the 363. Here I will go under. LA under 8. And I'll go 3 units on that. And that's it. That's all the games. So we're taking the Mets. We're taking Kansas City. We're going Houston over 8. We're taking Oakland over 7.5. San Diego and the Dodgers under 8. We like Frisco over 8. We're not betting it. All right. That is your baseball for today. Great day yesterday. We'll see if it holds. And let's look at football. All right. So yesterday we went through all the preseason except for the last 2. Now, I did give you a winner, even though I didn't bet it. I gave you the Rams plus 8.5 with Stenson Benson. They win the game. I gave you New Orleans and 7.5 because Hainer and Rattler would play, and the Niners beat them 16-10. The Niners had a good quarterback. I need to color my hair. The Niners need a good quarterback. Had one. The guy from SMU. Oh my! How did he not get drafted? He was at SMU. He transferred to Wisconsin. They didn't know what to do with him. They didn't know how to use him right. I see him in the backfield for Frisco yesterday. I go, wow, how did they get this guy? What a steal. All these undrafted quarterbacks. You got Hartman. You got the guy Bean from Kansas. You get this guy from SMU. And they're fucking not drafting these guys. But they draft Rattler and they draft J.J. McCarthy and they draft Drake May. They're obviously they're looking at the athlete, not the quarterback, because these quarterbacks are great. So let's take a look at Denver, Green Bay. My man, Bo Nix, nice day. I think he played the first half. Green Bay's got a really good quarterback, Michael Pratt from Tulane. They went undefeated. He was very good last year, 10-16 for only 52 yards. And Sean Clifford from Penn State, 6-10, 1 interception. Bo Nix, 8-9, 80 yards and a touchdown. What's wrong with Bo Nix? People don't like Bo Nix? Go fuck yourself. Bo Nix is one of the better quarterbacks. Jared Stidham from Auburn, 7-11 for only 65 yards and an interception. See, he's 7-11 for 65. Nix is 8 out of 9 for 80 yards. So what I'm pointing out is for one extra completion, you got 15 more yards. I'm tired of these 5-yard completions, and they're saying, "Well, I got Taylor Levoa, a guy from Michigan, McCarthy." Yeah, but you're throwing 5-yard passes. Sorry, it doesn't work. And then Zach Wilson, 2-6 for 29 yards. I think Stidham's got to be your backup. Bo Nix, if you don't start him, you got a problem. 8-9 with a touchdown. They win 27-2. No Jordan Love. It's a mistake. He ain't that good. He ain't all that. Pratt, why do you have Clifford out there? Pratt should have got the whole works. I mean, it's pointless to look at the running. Denver, maybe. I don't know. B. Watson, Williams, Perrine. He got him from Cincinnati. He'll probably be there. Here you go. Estamine from Notre Dame, 4 for 14. Bo Nix, 3 for 12. So, yeah, Denver plays their players. Sean Payton doesn't like to lose, and this is how you win. You play your players. Kansas City does it. They win Super Bowls. Denver does it, and he's always been a good coach. Sutton, he's a starter, I think. Estamine, 1 of 7. Perrine, 1 of. So the receivers. So yes, we like our Bo Nix, and who's the back? So we can fill in our backups here. So Bo Nix, his backup is Stidham. And then Michael Pratt is Love's backup. And Love better be careful because Pratt's real fucking good. All right. New Orleans and San Francisco. 16-10. Frisco's using Joshua Dobbs. God, can you believe that crap? All right, so New Orleans Hayner, 7-13, 76 yards. That's good for 7. Derek Carr, 7-9, 47 yards. Hayner beat him out. Rattler, 4 of 8 for 27 yards. Why is he there? And yet, you drafted Rattler. You could have had Bean, or you could have had the guy Mordecai from SMU. Amazing. All right, so Frisco, their backup's going to be Mordecai. He was really good at SMU, goes to Wisconsin, plays okay. If they fucking use Dobbs, they're out of their minds. Then they got B. Allen and Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was 2 of 6. Looked pretty shitty, but that's okay. Allen, who knows? And then Jake Hayner will back up Carr, which we already knew. Hayner's good. Rushing, Mims for New Orleans, 37 yards. Taysom Hill. See, Taysom Hill, 5 for 21. He scored a touchdown. Although I thought the guy on the first try scored the touchdown. It was on Fox. So the guy's in. I love when the guy dives. His knee doesn't hit the ground. The ball lands on the goal line. I mean, it's a touchdown. How is it not a fucking touchdown? Corey Schrader from Missouri, excellent running back, 7 for 15, or 7 rushes for 15 yards. So pretty good there. Fairchild's very interesting. The tight end from New Orleans. He should start. He's from Kansas. He was very good at Kansas. 3 for 31. Olave, 3 for 26. See, Sean Payton does not like to lose, and he doesn't fuck around. They are playing their starters in the preseason as they should, as all teams should. Although he didn't play Olave, or he didn't play Kamala. All right. So Mordecai, very good. Dobbs, how many teams cut Dobbs last year? Arizona, Minnesota. Like, he plays good for about 5 minutes, and then he starts throwing a lot of interceptions, and they cut him. What is he doing? Why is he on San Francisco? Are you out of your fucking mind? Good pickup with Mordecai, but that's it. And then I got to put in the Jets backup. It wasn't anybody good, but I didn't put it in. Boy, it's pretty bad. Adrian Martinez or Peasley. Holy fuck. Peasley's got to be better than Martinez. I'll put Peasley there. You got Aaron Rodgers, better not get hurt. They're in big fucking trouble. All right, so let's go through this week. So we started Philly beats New England 14-13. New England's in bad shape. They should go with Zappy. Let's go through that. So it's Brissett and Zappy for the starter or the backup. Weak defense, no running, no pass, no receive. They got Boutte from LSU. and that's about it. So they're in big. They might not win a game unless they play Carolina or Tennessee. Philly, I'm not impressed. 14-13. They've got the players, but they don't have the coaches. So it'll be interesting to see. Jalen Hurts, you got a new offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore. Why is Jalen Hurts not playing? He's got to get used to the offense. He ain't going to just pick it up. These players don't. You can't practice it. You've got to play it. It's like practicing golf. You got to play it. There's the pressure. There's the getting hit. There's that contest. Football, golf, there's pressure, right? The difference between just going and fucking around and playing 18 with beer and your friends and playing in a tournament are night and day. You've got to play in a tournament to be ready for a tournament. Football, you've got to play in the game, not in practice, to be ready for that. It's such bullshit. So Philly, I don't know. Maybe they won't win any games this year. Maybe they'll be like they finished at the end of the year. So we will see. New England, I doubt they'll win. Atlanta, where was Penix? They didn't use Penix. Baltimore, God knows Lamar needs work, but they don't play him because he's the best quarterback in the world. And he hasn't won any meaningful playoff or Super Bowls. Okay, so 13-12 Baltimore. Again, it's preseason, so what the fuck? Well, why do they, this is how you take advantage of practice. It's like going to the golf range. It's like practicing your golf. You can either fuck around and, just hit balls into the parking lot, or you can take the practice time seriously. Unfortunately, these teams do not take the practice time seriously, except for Denver and Kansas City, which is why Kansas City wins Super Bowls. They take the practice seriously. Teams like Detroit and, Atlanta, they're not taking it seriously, and it shows because they don't win. All right, Atlanta, the Bears 27-3. Bagnet's getting most of the touchdowns. Caleb, what did he do? He ran one in from 7 yards. You don't want Caleb running the ball. And believe me, when the real players start playing, now I'll give Caleb credit. He played the half. God knows he needs it. He needs the half in this game coming up. The bye, I think, is they'd be better off with the fourth preseason game than a bye. What's the point of the bye? We don't want to get anybody hurt. Oh, well, it's football. You're going to get people. You've got to get here's the biggest bitch I have. Here's Hooker from Detroit. He doesn't get to practice with the number one receiver, McLeod, and he doesn't with the running back and the running offense and the offensive line. How the fuck is he supposed to, when Goff gets hurt and he goes in, he won't have any practice time with the number ones. Isn't that the point of the backup? Or are they afraid that he's better than Goff and they don't want to give him he looks sharp with the threes. Some guy out of Illinois who I never heard of. And then Peoples-Jones from Michigan, who was never very good in college, who somehow he's on the Lions. Pretty pathetic, but he needs work with his thing, Cloud. That's who he needs work with, and getting the timing down with the running backs and the swing passes and the screen passes. Let Hooker work with the ones. So you're defeating the whole point. Oh, geez, he might be better than Goff, and we just paid Goff all this money. We'd hate to do what Atlanta did, where we paid Cousins all this money until we got Penix, who's better. This is the problem. You're not practicing the way you should. To let him play with the third and fourth string is not helping him. It's not helping your team. These guys won't even be there. Third and fourth receivers, Hooker will be there. God forbid you start Hooker and you start really winning games. Okay, you don't want to do that, though. That would scare you if you did that. Good pick in Hooker. He beat Alabama, and nobody wants to remember that. Pisses me off. All right. So give the Bears credit for a half. They're back up. do they have a backup? Baggett. I don't know who he is, but what the fuck? He looks good in preseason. Houston kills the Giants. Giants killed Detroit. Houston, but it wasn't C.J. Stroud. It was whoever their backup is. It was Case Keenum, who I think is probably he won the Super Bowl. I think he's a little better than Stroud. Good backup. I'd be playing him way more than Stroud. Stroud's he runs out of the pocket to his right and then prays the receiver gets open. It's playground football. It's not back in the pocket, which is what you want. So good luck for Houston. Giants, they're in trouble. Daniel Jones, are you kidding me? And who's the Giants backup? It's Danny DeVito. I think Danny DeVito's better. I mean, he's proven that. Jones sucked in college. I never saw why you would draft Jones. Detroit KC, we talked about. Hooker looked really good. KC, when they wanted, Mahomes was in there. They were up 6-0 and then quickly 13-0. Then they went to their four-string quarterback and their four-string players. And Detroit wanted to win. I love that. So they had Hooker and, Detroit played to win. Amazing. Now, they should play to win, but you got to play Hooker with the first team. Goff should have been out there. If you want to make this a playoff game, Detroit, where's Goff and your number ones? You had Mahomes and Kelsey. Why weren't you guys out there? You don't do that. Your boys might get hurt, not Mahomes and Kelsey. Give me a break. I'll take you seriously when you start playing seriously, but this is a joke. You beat their four-string, whoop-de-doo. Some guy said this was the greatest preseason victory ever. Well, that's because a lot of years they never won a preseason game. This is just a joke. I mean, KC's so much better. Minnesota 27-12. They didn't miss J.J. McCarthy. Minnesota, Darnold, and then Mullins. Mullins looked good hitting Jefferson. He's good with Jefferson. Cleveland, where was their? They had Thompson, Robinson, and Huntley. So they're pretty good, but they, I don't know what they were doing. Deshaun Watson should not see the field. So if he is playing, he should be starting these games. If he's not playing, then, get Thompson, Robinson the reps. Tennessee 16, Seattle 15. Seattle's got big problems. They got all sorts of receivers and running backs. They got the guy from Georgia I love. And they got Smith and then Sam Howell, who all of a sudden is good. Well, throwing the ball to Lockett and my other guy and Metcalf, he should be good. Even Daniel Jones would look good on Seattle hitting those two guys. And then what do we got? Tennessee with Levis and Kyle Rudolph. Tennessee's in big trouble. Arizona, Indy wins 21-13. No Richardson. He doesn't need practice. He's played in 2 games. Yeah. Richardson, Bean, and Ellinger. I think Bean's the best, and Ellinger the backup. I'd let Richardson play wide receiver or something. Arizona, Kyler Murray and Riddler. They're in big trouble if Kyler Murray gets out. Miami 13, Washington 6. Miami, Tagliabue and White from the Jets. Okay, Tagliabue. Hope it ain't a big game because he won't show up. Washington, Daniels and McSorley. Where was Hartman? I don't understand why he wasn't playing a half. You got a great quarterback. If you don't think so and you're not going to play him, then you're lucky you got Daniels. But Hartman's much better than McSorley. Buffalo 9-3 with the Steelers. Seriously, so Buffalo. Josh Allen and Mitch Trubisky, we all know how shitty he is. So the backup situation is terrible. Pittsburgh, you had Russell Wilson play. Fields, I can't believe, is the backup. And you scored 3 points. you're in big trouble. You have no offense. I mean, if you can't score in the preseason, when are you going to score? You're just going to turn it on week one? When you play week one, you got at Atlanta, and you're just going to turn it on? I know Atlanta sucks, but this is turning into a great under because I don't see any points being scored here. The JETS's 15, Carolina 12. We know Carolina with Steve Young and Plummer have no quarterback. Why they're not playing Young, I have no idea. The best thing that could happen is he gets hurt. This guy's terrible. And then the Jets, Rodgers, and then Peasley from Wyoming, who wasn't very good. Jets are in trouble if Rodgers gets hurt this time. The Rams and the Chargers, Stenson Benson comes through. 47-yard touchdown to win the game again. So you got Stafford and Bennett. They are very good shape. And San Diego is in big fucking trouble. Herbert, who's hurt, and then Stick, who sucks. Jacksonville 20, Tampa 7. Jacksonville, we're going to rely on Lawrence and Matt Jones because Matt Jones looks so good at New England. They won so many games last year. What are they thinking? Oh, yeah, he scored with 2 minutes left in the game. So they're trying to score against Tampa Bay's fifth stringers who are quitting because there's 2 minutes left in the game. Tampa Bay, Baker, and then Trask. Trask is very good. He should be the starter. Dallas 27, Oakland 12, Prescott. And then I think Rush is the better backup. And then you got Trey Lance, who basically sucks. Oakland has Minshew and O'Connell, who sucks. But they got Stenson, but they got Brock Bowers. Okay. Now, to quote Greg John, Brock Bowers didn't play. So their best player, the offensive player of the year, didn't play. Well, that hurts them because they don't really – I think they got Devontae Adams, who didn't play. And so, of course, when you don't have good receivers, you're not going to look good. And we talked about Denver. Bo Nix looked great. Love didn't play. And then Mordecai for the Niners. And then Haener looked really good for New Orleans. The last play of the game, Haener threw the pass he threw against UCLA to win the game. It was just a sideline route, and he laid it in there perfectly. It was knocked down by the Niner defensive back. But he hit the guy right. It was going right in the guy's chest to win the game. Haener, very, very good quarterback. So you've got your Haeners and Stenson Benson and, Danny DeVito's and, Thompson Robinson, if that gets to it. You've got Hartman, who they better wake up. Mordecai, who's very good for Purdy. And then you got the Jets with nobody because Aaron Rodgers never gets hurt. What did he say? Don't worry, I won't get hurt. You got Hooker for Detroit, should be the starter. So there's a lot of Haener should start. Bean should start for Indy. Keenum should start for Houston. Zappe should start for New England. That's about it. Penix should start for Atlanta. And Pratt will give Love all he wants. Pratt's probably better than Love. See, because guys hit guys that are all open, everybody gets excited. It's like, fuck, the guy's wide open. This is a professional quarterback. If he doesn't hit him, there's a problem. It's, can you read the defense? Can you go back and read it? Not do what C.J. Stroud was, which he thinks he's back at Ohio State playing Indiana. Well, I'm going to roll out of the pocket and pray one of my receivers gets open. Yeah, really good. And it worked really well in the playoffs against Baltimore. They scored, 3 points. It's circus football. It doesn't work. These guys can't read defenses. That's why Fields gets sacked 12 times a game. He goes back. He has no idea where he's throwing the ball. He has no idea about the blitz. He thinks he has 10 seconds in the pocket, and he gets sacked all the time. You got 2 seconds. Tom Brady, boom, boom, where am I throwing? And you know where you're throwing before the ball gets hiked to you. Simple as that. So I don't get it. Anyway, so that's kind of a review. Why don't we go through the lines week one against? Hey, Pat. I'll be back for the Yeah, well, you're welcome, Pat. It's for everybody. Yeah, but I'm taking your advice and Luke's. I'm doing sports now, and then I'll come back for economics. We'll see how it goes. Uh, the only thing I don't like about it is I like any topic. So the way I'm doing it, you could talk girls, you could talk poker, you could talk economics, football, whatever, golf. That's what people liked about the way I did it. We can implement more of that also in it. I mean, it doesn't have to be strictly sports, but if I'm going to do two different ones, we'll have to figure out how to do it. All right, let's look at the line week one. Now that we have two games in, has our line changed? All right, we don't care about the last preseason game. All right, September 5th. We've got KC 2.5 now and 46.5 to Baltimore. I can't imagine what would have driven the line down. And then I'll give you the quarterback. So it should be Lamar against Mahomes. Both teams had a 17 defense. Last year, this is a new year, but it should be similar for most teams, except for the teams with the new coach. You do it the way you want to do it. You are the king. Well, thank you, Pat. Well, no, I want to see how this works. Because it's shorter, right? This will only be an hour, hour and a half. The other one is 3 hours, but you can go into the transcript, and when it comes to gold and bricks and Comex, you can figure out where that is. And I usually start with baseball and football, so you can get them down to basically half hour, 45-minute ones. So KC 2.5, 46.5. Both teams with 17 defenses, and figure Lamar against Mahomes. Baltimore is 7-1 as a road dog in a teaser. If I do trends like that as teaser trends, it only can use it with quarterback and coach that have been there for a year or two or three. The new guys I can't do it with because I don't have trends. Let's see. Philly is 248.5 against Green Bay. Again, I don't know why this line moved from 1.5. It makes no sense. Green Bay with a 21 defense. Philly's defense fell apart, 25 last year. Love against Hurts. Green Bay is 8-0 as a road dog last year. Play against Philly as a road favorite is 7-1. So there is a technical trend on Green Bay being a good road dog and Philly not being a good road favorite. The game's in Brazil, which should have a bearing, on Friday night, which should have a bearing. So we will see. The Bears 4.5, 43.5 to Tennessee. Looks like Levis against Caleb. Both defenses were 22s. No trend. So, again, we'll see the real Caleb. Ain't going to be a pretty sight. Houston, 248.5 to Indy. Houston had a 21 defense. Indy at 24. It was really pathetic. Stroud against Richardson. If those are your two start, I'd rather see Bean start, but him and Penix need about 4 or 5 games. Indy, Richardson's pathetic. He'll get a few running touchdowns, no passing. Why don't they play him at running back if he's such a good runner and he can't hit the broadside of a barn? So I don't get why he's the quarterback. I mean, you just might as well take the receivers off the field because they're useless to this guy. He can't throw it to him. I mean, unless the guy's wide open and anybody makes a big deal. Oh, did you see that 20-yard pass to the wide open receiver with nobody around him? Yeah, wow, what a great NFL quarterback. So again, Houston with a little bit better. Now, Houston on the road lost to Carolina last year. I wouldn't think Houston's the best road favorite. Road favorites are extremely hard to do. The only teams that can do it are Kansas City and Cincinnati with Burrow. Arizona, Buffalo. Buffalo, 6.5, 48. You got Kyler Murray against Josh Allen. Buffalo with an 18 defense. Arizona with a 27. Arizona's defense didn't get any better with Marvin Harrison. What are they doing drafting Marvin Harrison when you don't have receivers and really your defense was 27? You're going to win with that? I mean, that's ridiculous. I love when I hear guys, well, Arizona will be better this year. Yeah, because they got Kyler Murray and no defense. Okay, yeah, sure. Defense wins, folks. New England, or Cincinnati, 9 and 42.5. To New England, we got Joe Burrow against probably Brissett, possibly Zappy. Cincinnati 7-1 is a home favorite, and New England 6-1 is a road dog with Belichick, who's not there. So we can ignore the New England trend. A new coach, guys never coached before. Brissett, a whole new offense, whole new defense. You don't have Belichick. It's how many points will Burrow put up? 23 defense against the 22. But that's a Belichick defense, not whoever the hell their coach is now. Atlanta and Pitt. Atlanta 343, and I'm beginning to scratch my head on this game. I go, well, I got Russell Wilson. Kirk Cousins is good for 2-3 interceptions a game. Is he ready, or does Penix start? Russell Wilson, he's got to learn the offense. He's got one game to do it. Huge mistake not playing Russell Wilson in the first game, and clearly in the second, should have played the whole half. And he better play at least 3 quarters of the next game, because if you're going to score 3 points in the preseason, you ain't going to light up Atlanta. I mean, they're a pretty bad team. What's with my hair? Going for a haircut tomorrow. What is this? I had a really good haircut in Lviv. If you're ever in the Ukraine when it's open, go to Lviv. There's a good barber there. So I don't know. I mean, Pitt, Atlanta. I mean, Cousins choke. Russell Wilson, he's good. 19 defense for Pitt. You know they always have a good defense. 22 for Atlanta. So probably a very low scoring game. I don't know where you're getting points from. These two guys. New Orleans 4.5, 40.5 to Carolina. Not sure why that spread went from 5 to 4.5. Carolina with the 25 defense, New Orleans with the 19. You got Steve Young going against Carr, and then Hayner's the backup, which I'd like to see. Play against Carolina as a road dog last year was 9-0. 17-0. In a teaser last year, Carolina lost every game. I love it. I think New Orleans, the only thing with New Orleans is their coach sucks. Where'd you get this guy, Dennis Allen? Where'd you find him from? High school? Come on, he can't coach. Otherwise, they got him killed. They even have that good receiver I saw, the guy from Kansas, the tight end, to go with Olave, to go with Kamara, to go with Carr and Hayner. And you got Steve Young, who's good for 3 points a game. And they have a 25 defense against the 19. So should be an interesting first game. Miami, Jacksonville. Miami 3.5, 49 to Jacksonville. Tagliavua against Trevor Lawrence, or maybe Mac Jones beat him out. Jacksonville with the 22 defense, Miami with the 23. Neither team's got a defense. Miami at home should put up a lot of points. Jacksonville should answer because Miami has no defense. So this is just 2 average quarterbacks going against weak defenses, and we'll see what happens. The winner game of the week. Minnesota's 1-point favorite, and the Giants are a 1-point favorite, depending on which sports book, 41.5. So take your pick. McCarthy was never going to start, so you've got Sam Darnold against Daniel Jones. How the fuck are these guys playing professional football? Are you kidding me? No, neither was very good in college. Darnell had his moments at USC, but Jones sucked at Duke. I mean, there was nothing you saw of him at Duke to say, draft that guy. Giants 24 defense, Minnesota 21. I would imagine you'll see a lot of running in this game because neither quarterback could complete a pass. And again, it's just depending on who you want as the dog. You can get the Giants in 7 or Minnie in 7. Just pick your poison with the quarterback. Denver, Seattle. Seattle 5-42 against Denver. You guys are being nice to me. 4.5 goes to 5. And 42.5 has stayed. You got Geno Smith, who hasn't played in the preseason, against Bo Nix, who looks really good. He thinks he's at I see they keep running this Oregon play at the goal line where the back slips out to the corner of the end zone. He's wide open. Touchdown. So let's see a little bit of the Oregon offense in here. But Sean Payton's got his good offense anyway. Seattle play against home favorite is 16-1. Although you don't have Coach Pete anymore. But if Coach Pete couldn't win at home, I don't think this guy can. I don't know where they got this guy from. The offensive coordinator was Washington College's offensive coordinator, but DeBoer was clearly the brains of the offense, not the offensive coordinator. That's like Belichick, where they're hiring the coordinators, and it's all Belichick and Brady. Brady's the offensive coordinator. Belichick was the defensive coordinator. Anybody you hire has no idea, and it proved out. So let's see. So Seattle -5. The good receivers, the good running backs. Kenny McIntosh from Georgia is outstanding. I can't believe he's free agent. What are you kidding me? Yeah, there's a Georgia guy. I mean, the Georgia guys are the best pro players. Oh yeah, and by the way, the Lions don't have any because they go to Alabama, who's really Georgia's much better. But whatever. So both defenses are 24 last year. I expect Denver's to get better. I don't expect Seattle's to get better. Bo Nix against Geno Smith. Bo Nix much better. Oakland and San Diego. San Diego 342.5. Down from 43.5. All right. Minshew against Herbert. Oakland with the 20 defense. I expect it to be better this year. San Diego with the 23. I expect that to get better. I expect San Diego's offense to be terrible. Herbert's okay, but not when he doesn't have Keenan Allen, who is his outlet. Doesn't have the running back. What the fuck are you giving him? Minshew, he's okay. He's a backup. So I don't know what to say there, but not going to be a lot of scoring, I don't think. Dallas and Cleveland. Cleveland 2-44. Prescott against Watson or Thompson Robinson. Looks like Thompson Robinson. He's the one playing. Dallas with the 19 defense, Micah Parsons. Cleveland with the 21 defense, Myles Garrett. So I think the superstars will take over because there's certainly no superstar quarterbacks. What are you going to do? Put out Trey Lance and watch Myles Garrett eat him for lunch? You will have Chubb back, so I think Cleveland will try to run, but I don't know if Micah Parsons is going to let him. So you see the stars of the game are going to be their defensive players. I don't know. Dallas, I have no faith in Prescott. Tampa Bay, Washington. We've got Tampa Bay 441.5. Washington with a 31 defense last year, Tampa 19, and I don't see how Washington's defense got any better. The two guys, Sweat and Chase Young was a bust, but Sweat's really good. But how do you let him just go? I mean, I hate this let him go for draft picks because you don't know what you're doing when you're drafting anyway. You're letting Hartman and Bean and Mordecai. You don't even draft these guys. Yeah, you don't know what you're doing. Daniels against Baker. Daniels is much better than Baker Mayfield. Washington. Well, I can't use that. So, we'll see what happens. Washington looks like there'll be a high-scoring games with no defense, and Daniels looks like really good with that LSU background. And then Tampa, worst coach in the league, I think. I don't know. There's a few others that are right up there with them, but we'll see. Detroit 3.5, 51. Stafford against Goff. Stafford's much better. LA with the 22 defense. Detroit with the 30. We don't have Aaron Donald, but they got some good defensive players last year, and we'll see how they drafted. They should be some pretty good ones. I'd have liked if they got some more Georgia guys, or Iowa, or Utah, somebody like that. That's how stupid Detroit is. They get the best safety in Utah. They want to make him a running back. You need safety help, fellas. Unbelievable. So, we'll see. I don't know why Detroit's favorite in the game, tell you the truth. Golf against Stafford. Let's put some pressure on the Golf, and we'll see the real Golf, right? The one the Rams traded away. And last but not least, the Monday night game, the Niners 5-44.5 against the JETSs. We got Rodgers against Purdy. Rodgers much better. We got the Jets with the 21 defense and the Niners with an 18 defense. I don't know. Let's see if we can get Rodgers the whole fucking game. As long as he stays healthy, the Jets will be in the playoffs. There's no question. You got that killer defense from the Niners with Rodgers. He's got the Green Bay receivers, good running backs. Hopefully the line's a little bit better, but that's what you got. All right. We did the college line yesterday. I'm just going to go through the Saturday games. Now, my picks are posted. Not all of them, but my week 1A pick is. So the two games I have picked, that is out there. So let's see what we have. We got Florida State 11.5, 55.5. And we got SMU 26 and 56.5. So one of those two has been played with a game from the next week. So yes, if you go out to Teaserking or you sign up for the class, you will get that pick now. And not a lot, just a good pick. And we start slowly. We get what we assume. So those are the two games. Again, Florida State with Uglia Buglia, Georgia Tech, pretty good team with Kings, decent coach. But they had a 30 defense. Florida State with the 16. We'll see what happens. And then SMU and Nevada, both quarterbacks are back. SMU with the 17 defense, Nevada with the 33. Both quarterbacks are back. Stone's very good for SMU, better than Mordecai. We can do the 29th and the 30th. Why not? So the 29th. Minnesota 2.5, 50.5. Both teams have new quarterbacks. Both defenses gave up 27 last year, which is all we have to go by. Normally, Minnesota had a better defense the year prior. Last year sucked. The quarterback sucked. He's now the starter at Rutgers. So, yeah, Rutgers will play a bunch of 3-0 games. North Carolina lost the great Drake May, who is he? Oh, he can run fast. Oh, let's make him the quarterback then. We don't want him to be the running back because he can't throw, but he can run good. Or my favorite, Josh Allen. Well, he's not a really good quarterback, but he can throw the ball far. Oh, well, let's have him be our quarterback because he can throw the ball far, but he doesn't know which jersey he's throwing it to. I love that. Um, Colorado is 9.58.5 to North Dakota State. And if you can tell me who's on North Dakota State, we can have a talk. But I don't trust Colorado without a defense and without a running game. Jacksonville State 3.5, 57 to Coastal Carolina. Rich Rodriguez, the coach from West Virginia, is the coach for Jacksonville State. They were a pretty good team last year. They had a 20 defense. Coastal Carolina with 25 defense. They get their quarterback back, and Jacksonville State has a new quarterback. Yeah, good luck with that one. Michigan State 11.5, 46.5. This is Friday night. This will be the last day I will go to. New transfer quarterbacks for both teams. Michigan State gets the Oregon State coach and the Oregon State freshman quarterback Childs, who didn't play because Uglia Buglia lit it up so good. They did have a good game with Oregon and Washington, Oregon State, defensively. Look for Michigan State's defense to improve. 22 last year, Florida Atlantic at 25. Oklahoma and Temple. Oklahoma 42.5, 59.5. Temple, Z team, 36 defense. Oklahoma, a 22 defense. I look for that to get better. A new quarterback for Temple, Kurt Warner's kid, got the hell out. Oklahoma with the new quarterback, never played one of these running quarterbacks. So that means they don't have a good offense. So I don't know what to do with Oklahoma. I thought they'd kill Temple, but now I don't know. They'll run a lot. Maybe he wants to run the wishbone and get the wishbone guys back. I mean, just run the wishbone if you're going to have running quarterbacks that can't throw. What's the point of trying to pretend they can throw? I don't know what you're going to get out of Oklahoma with this new quarter. He's like 2 of 5 last year. Really got him ready for this year. Wisconsin 24, 56.5 to Western. Western 32 defense. Wisconsin, we know, always has a good 119. A transfer quarterback for Western, a new one. And Wisconsin gets Tyler Van Dyke, who's outstanding. So we'll see how quickly he assimilates into the position. TCU Stanford, TCU 7.5 and 61. TCU, look for them to bounce back. They got to the championship game last year. Duggan was gone. Then Hoover, the quarterback, looked like shit. They didn't replace the receiver, who was so good. And look for this year. Teams like TCU will get much better. Stanford's a Z team. 37 defense, TCU at 27. Both quarterbacks are back, but Stanford sucked. So we'll see what happens there. We'll keep an eye on them. And that's it. So that is next week, and then the following Thursday, Friday, and we'll get into Saturdays maybe tomorrow, but there's no need. But the pick is posted for this week. It'll be either the Florida State Georgia Tech game or the SMU Nevada game with a team from the following week. That's the 2-team teaser. I have other games I'm analyzing for the following week. What to do with them. So, I have an idea on a few games, and then some I'm debating, and I want to look at the stats, but that's where we are. So that's all out there. Anything sports, anything else, football, questions, comments, anything you don't understand, teasers. You add 6 points to the line, and you have to play 2 games, and it's 11-10. You can play 3 teams and get money. It's not a problem. I pick generally. If you look at my picks, I'll probably have 4 or 5 games. There's usually 8 to 10 teams I can find. on a weekend to play in college. Pros, there's always a good at least 6 teams I can play. Can I find a lock? That depends. I don't lock the lock. I lock if I find a lock. Just like baseball, you see me with a lot of twos, and then I got to Chris Sale, and I said that's a 5 unit. So I got to see that in football. I got to get the Chris Sale, or I got to get Mahomes as a dog, or Joe Burrow as a dog. Um, Art of war, everything. So you look for strength against weakness. I like betting against the Z teams. The Z team is a team that sucks on offense and sucks on defense. So they score 15 points and gives up 40. And an example of that was probably Kent or Akron or one of those teams that just suck. The only team they can beat is the other Z. So when Akron plays Kent, one of them has to win. But you're looking to play against them because they can't stop the team. And that one thing I did learn and try to avoid is taking a good offense against a real good defense. I try to be very careful with that. That's how you get the upsets, right? Ohio State, Oregon, the better defense will win that game. Ohio State, Michigan, the better defense. Well, Ohio State had the better defense, didn't win, but normally that comes into play. Georgia, that's why they are so dominant. They have the best defense. Iowa can't score, so they're a beautiful under if they're not 32s. So we look for that. I imagine the final score. And in the class, I will share that with you. I won't share that with you out here. And we'll go right through the games and the score and what I think and why. And then I will share my picks and bets with you in the class. That's about it. So that's college football, pro football, and the baseball picks. So let's give you the baseball picks one more time. If I can find it. So where did that go? Oh, here it is. So today's picks, we got the New York Mets, we got Kansas City, we got Houston over 8, we got Oakland over 7.5, San Diego, and the Dodgers under 8. 2 good pitchers going. So that's all we got in baseball picks today. Those are your football lines, and that's your preseason look, quarterbacks of what's going on. So I'll be right back with economics, and we will try out, is this better? This is an hour 7. It's perfect. You want your football, your sports, watch this video. The next video, we will talk economics. If a sports question comes up, I will answer it. But basically, we are so broad that I can do sports betting and poker, and over here, gold and economics and bricks and COMEX. So very, very skilled person. All right. Have a good day. www.teaserking.com. Sign up. The pick is posted for Saturday, and off we go. All right, www.teaserking.com. Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a great day. I'll be right back.